Okay, my sleep schedule's absolutely fried. I woke up at 10:30 p.m. I was sitting there in bed like, I don't think I'll be able to make a video today. But I was like, you know what? I've been daily uploading for quite a while now. I'm keeping the damn streak. Even if this goes up at 2 in the morning, I'm doing it, okay? Now, this won't be my longest video ever. It'll still be long enough to enjoy, but I destroyed my vocals earlier singing, and on top of the fact that it's really late, I just don't think it's best to talk for too long. But today's story, it's still a good one. It's still an interesting one, still one that I think you all will enjoy. And if you do enjoy it, leave a like on the video. Also, check out my new song, Backseat. And yeah, let's get into it. So today's story time all takes place back in the year 2016. Great year. Don't need to say much more about that. However, some things happened that year that were pretty not so great, this being one of them. So in 2016, a lot of my friends started driving. I remember that was the year like pretty much everyone got their license, right? And it was really cool. It was really exciting, like to be able to like have my friend come to my house, pick me up in their own car and like go wherever we wanted without having to ask our parents and shit. It was really cool, right? Like it was a really awesome thing. And around this time, my one friend, we'll just call him Luke, okay? Luke had just gotten his license and he was like one of my best friends at the time. And he'd always come over and hang out and we'd drive around, right? Now, this was like any other normal day back then. I woke up pretty late in the day. This was also after I had quit school, so I didn't have school like my friends did. So I woke up pretty late in the day. I woke up at like 2:15, 2:30, which is when my friends would pretty much get out of school. And my friend Luke hit me up, and he's like, yo, what are you doing today? And I was like, nothing. He's like, you want to go for a drive, get some food? I'm like, bet. So Luke pulls up to my house, right? I get in the car, and we start doing what we always do. Just blasting music, driving around. We pulled up to a Taco Bell, ate in the car for like 20 minutes, went back to driving around, blasting music. And, you know, everything was great. Everything was good. Couldn't see anything going wrong, right? That was until we pulled up to a red light at some intersection, and this guy pulls up next to us. And he could see us in the car, like blasting music, having fun, right? Now, here's the thing. We had all of our windows up. It's not like we were blaring the music with the windows down or anything, because that'd be really, really loud and really, really distracting to people around us. But you could still kind of hear it. You could hear the bass kicking a little bit. And I look out my right window, like the passenger side window, and I see this guy pointing at me in this other car. This guy, probably about 35, 40 years old, bald dude. He's pointing at me with his sunglasses on, making kind of like an angry face. So I turn the music down, and I look over at Luke, and I was like, yo, this guy's like yelling at us about something. So I roll the window down, and I turn the music down, and this guy rolls his window down all the way, and he goes, what the fuck are y'all doing, man? That shit's too loud. I can't even fucking think. Like, turn it the fuck down. And Luke speaks up. He's like, bro, it wasn't even loud enough for you to hear that well. Our windows were fully up. We're not breaking the law. Mind your business. And the guy goes, how about you mind your fucking business, right? You're pissing me off. And I was like, you know what, man? Fuck this shit. So I roll the window up on him. I'm not about to sit there and argue with that guy, with Luke. Like, we're not about to sit there and do that, right? So I roll the window up, right? And this guy takes his hand, sticks it out the window, and throws the finger at me, like right up to the window. And Luke goes, okay. So he rolls down all 4 of our windows and then turns the music up to like fucking 100, way louder than we had it, to the point where the whole fucking intersection could probably hear it. And he's blaring this music. And this guy, he didn't like that very much. He proceeds to start getting out of his car and like getting into a stance, like he's about to start throwing hands with us. And Luke turns the music down and he goes, why don't you sit your ass back down before we have an issue? And this guy's like in stance and he's like, I want a fucking issue. Let's do it. Let's go. And then I try and tell him like, bro, please just sit down, bro. Get in your car. The light's about to change. We gotta go. And literally right after I said that, bro, the light changed. So me and Luke go to drive off, right? And leave this dumbass standing there in the middle of the intersection, like looking confused. And as we're driving off, this guy winds his foot back and kicks Luke's car as hard as he can in the back door, to which Luke goes, oh, fuck no. And he immediately turns around, parks the car in a parking lot right next to the intersection, gets out, and then waits for the guy to pull in. And the guy clearly wanted to fight because the guy pulled into the intersection and parked right next to us, and he gets out. He starts getting up in both of our faces. We're both talking shit back to him. It's not looking good, right? Now, you guys know me. I don't like fighting. I don't like violence. I've only ever really fought if it's self-defense. That's how I live my life. Well, this guy winds back and swings first, specifically on Luke. And Luke is a pretty fit dude, definitely not like out of shape, and he definitely knows how to fight. That motherfucker was in mixed martial arts for like his entire life. I knew this guy was fucking with the wrong person. That's why I was trying to tell him to get back in his car and leave. Because after he threw that first punch, I knew it was over for him. Luke starts wailing on this dude. Like, he takes him to the ground immediately. and starts just beating on him. I didn't even have to jump in or help him or anything because Luke had that shit covered. I was not about to get involved. However, after a good 30 seconds, 40 seconds of them fighting, I quickly realized this guy, if I let Luke, keep beating on him, it's going to be a lot worse than what it already is. It's already a horrible situation, so like, I need to break this up. So I start trying to pull Luke off the guy, and the guy's like still trying to fight Luke, even though Luke's definitely winning. And I'm yelling, I'm like, Luke, you gotta chill, bro. You gotta stop. Come on, like it's over. You won. And finally, after like 10 seconds, he listens to me, he gets off him, and he like just steps back, right? And I was like, thank you. Now this guy, he gets up, he's like super like disoriented, looking real fucking confused because he just got, smacked around. And this guy goes, you guys are fucking cowards. That was a 2v1 and I'm still standing. Now, I don't know if this guy got hit like so hard in the head that he was like imagining things, but it was not a 2v1. I never jumped in. The only time I put my hands on either of them was to break it up, and I didn't punch any of them. I just put my hands between them and was trying to split them up with my arms. Like, there was no 2v1. The only people throwing punches were him and Luke, so I don't know what he's trying to say with this whole like 2v1 shit. And I said that to him. I was like, bro, you're crazy. Like, I did not hit you once. And he's like, fuck you guys. Like, I'm still standing, pussy. And he starts spitting towards us. Like, he's spitting at us. And I was like, yo, this guy's fucking insane. Like, he was really this butthurt about us playing music that he's willing to, like, fucking fight us over it. This is crazy. So, I didn't realize this, but an employee in the store of the parking lot we were in saw this happening, and she called the cops. I didn't know that happened, but, like, literally 5 minutes later, while Luke and this guy are still screaming at each other out in this parking lot, and the fight had, like, been over, a cop pulled in, and he gets out and he comes right up to us. And he's like, what's going on over here? Like, I heard you guys were fighting. And Luke speaks up. He's like, dude, yeah, we were. I didn't want to. I pulled up to that intersection. This guy was fucking causing all sorts of problems, yelling at me about my music being too loud. My friend here tried to roll the window up and shut him out. He then flipped us off. And then I won't lie, I maybe instigated it a little bit. I turned my music up again. And yeah, he got pissed, stepped out of his car, proceeded to kick the side of my door. And I got mad. So yeah, we pulled in this parking lot, started yelling at each other. He swung first, I fought him. And that was pretty much the truth. That was a very quick, version of the truth. Like, that was what happened. And this cop's like, how old are you guys? You look young. And we were both 18. Now, before I continue, this guy that Luke fought is so lucky we were both 18, because most of the people at my school in my grade were like 17, right? But me and Luke were one of the only kids in our grade that were 18. Luke got held back a year, so he was 18 for that reason. And then me, I can't remember specifically what happened, but I think when I was a really little kid, like a toddler, I started school late, or like something happened and my mom held me back an extra year. I can't remember, but I remember I was a year older than the kids in my class. Anyway, so yeah, we're both 18, which is very good for this guy that was fighting Luke, because if Luke was 17 and he was fist fighting a 17-year-old, he would have been in so much fucking trouble, so much more than he already was, right? Anyway, the cop walks over to our car after this, right? And he's looking at the dent that the guy left, because he kicked a dent in Luke's car. And this guy's silent, by the way. The guy that fought Luke. He was silent since the cop pulled up. He wasn't saying shit. He looked nervous as hell. He was definitely looking guilty, right? So after the cop looks at the dent in the car, he goes over to this guy, talks to him for a little bit. We didn't really hear what they were talking about because they were like kind of far away in the parking lot. And then the cop walks over to his car for like 3 to 5 minutes. Then he gets out of his car, walks back up to the guy, turns him around and handcuffs him. And I was like, what the fuck? It was that easy? He's just going to jail like that? Like, what the fuck? And the cop sits him down in his car, and he comes up to us and he talks to us for a little bit about what happened. And then the cop goes into the store and he checks the cameras at the convenience store, because I guess the cameras caught everything. And they caught the fight in the parking lot and what happened in the intersection. And the cop comes out and goes, yeah, so I looked at the camera footage, like, you're telling the truth. That is what happened. Sorry this happened. That guy has a past of being violent. He has prior warrants. So that explains why the dude immediately went into handcuffs. The cop talked to him, got his info, looked him up, saw the warrants, and cuffed him. So, like, this dude, this idiot, got himself caught. He literally started a fight with 2 teenagers and got himself caught over it when he had a warrant out for his arrest or prior warrants or some shit. It's insane. Insane. So yeah, the dude went to jail, got in trouble for not only what he did on this day, which was assault Luke and, fucking kick his car and cause a disturbance, but he also got arrested on these like other warrants he apparently had. But yeah, motherfucker went to jail that day. And me and Luke got to walk away like free. I don't know how to this day. I thought maybe Luke would get in a little bit of trouble just because they fought. But I don't know, maybe it's because it was self-defense. I don't know. Either way, that dude must have been really fucking bad news because the cop was very eager to get him arrested and out of there. But yeah, dude went to jail. Me and Luke didn't. And we got back in the car and just drove off. And I remember we went back home to Luke's house and he was able to get the dent out of his car. So that was pretty cool. Got the dent out with his dad. And we went about our day after that. Like, just super normal day. Had some fun. Got some more food. Played some more music. Didn't get attacked for it. Now, this leads me to a very simple moral of the story. Moral of the story is, getting violent for a stupid reason, like someone's music being too loud, is not the answer. Getting violent in general is not the answer. Like I said earlier in the story, me personally, I do not like to even think about getting violent at all, or fighting, or whatever you want to call it, unless it is self-defense. But yeah, guys, that's the end of the story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I'll see y'all later. Peace.
'Cause you won't let me be. Lay me out flat, let me die in the backseat. Let me bleed out, or you're not entertained. Going outside like